Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is episode 509 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Glad to be back, everybody, this morning. How you guys doing? Mike, Derpy?
Um, Still alive, still can't talk, but I'm happy to be here.
How you keep getting worse?
I don't know.
You're literally
I
defi-
talk for I talk at my job, then I got to come here and talk. It is what it is. You won't give me a day off. That's why.
No. Well, you had all week last week off. It was like you had a vacation.
It's because you were sick all week.
You know, you gotta roll with the punches, man.
I'm
I don't know
trying,
I don't
dude.
know how your
I'm
voice is getting worse.
because all I do is talk all day long.
Is there any way to do your job without talking
No, I
or
tried.
have keep it to a minimum?
No, no, I got to tell people what to do.
Oh, geez. How uh how could everybody that works there every day not know what to do?
Oh, well,
You
they
can
know what
tell
to
them.
do, but they like me. They like talking to me. So, I got to talk to them.
So it's not really necessary that you're losing your voice. You're kind of,
Eh, eh, you know.
I don't know. What do you think, Derpy?
I think they tease him with his bald head.
I,
They love my bald head. All right.
good morning. Yeah. It is leap day, everybody. Today is the 29th of February. Only one day, one time every 4 years, we have this day. We got some special things lined up today for leap day. Got all kind of things to talk about, guys. We have the NFL Combine starting here in a few hours.
Oh yeah.
Little some college scoop in college basketball. See what the Pirates did yesterday. Penguins back on schedule to play tonight. A lot of things going on, guys. Derpy, I just got a couple things I want to say to you before we get started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how in the hell you came up with number 26 yesterday on the trivia at the end of the day. It was baffling, baffling to the mind. I'm at work about, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the
It's a
evening.
derpy response.
It was definitely a derpy response, and it hit me like at that point in time. I thought, holy fuck, 26. I don't even know how you even came up with that number, but nonetheless, it was good for entertainment value, and I liked it. And keep up the good work. Also,
Thank you.
I have a whole storyline, Mike. Yesterday, I was talking kind of candidly. I don't know if it was candid. I think that I might take this serious, but I'm going to make a movie about Derpy, And I have the whole
Ooh.
storyline. I think it's going to be a horror movie. And you remember, like on Scooby Doo, how they would always split up in pairs and go
Yeah.
off in their own
Yeah.
groups, and then Scooby and Shaggy would always be the ones that get screwed over.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing something, and I don't know how I'm going to tie it in yet, but Derpy's math is going to somehow lead him astray,
Okay.
and he's going to be on his own, and that's when he's going to get fingered by the bad guy,
I'm all
and
for it.
and it keeps happening throughout the whole movie, and it's like, oh man, and we'll play it out to make it look like you're the one that's, or myself's going to be the one that gets it next, and then it'll be Derpy that gets fingered again, and it'll just keep happening throughout the whole entire movie. What do you think?
I'm all for it. As long as bad things happen to Derpy, I'm okay with it.
What do you think, Derpy?
Um,
You're not really gonna get fingered.
Box office is gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a hit for box office.
Nobody's really entering your ass. It's just a movie. So and
It's gonna be
Wow.
a hit.
Derpy had the concerns yesterday for copyright reasons. We're gonna spell fingered with a PH.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll make it hood. You know what I mean?
A little phonetically, a little poetic license. I'm all
Yeah.
for it.
All right. So there it is, guys. Derpy got fingered. It's in the works. I have the groundwork laid. So just know it's coming. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, guys, if you like free beer, which Mike, I know that you may, down at the Permani Brothers today, being for leap year, if you like Pittsburgh sandwiches and you like beer, you could get a free beer if you would get Permani's today, guys. Only today
Only today. Only one free beer.
for leap year. Mike, what's your timer?
My timer is, give me 1 second here. I have, make sure it's accurate, 4 minutes in. 4 minutes.
Okay, good deal. As you see, I got my sweatshirt on. It did something. It's doing us dirty here in Pittsburgh. I got to tell you, we were at 70 degrees the other day. Now I can't even barely stand to be outside. So back to the sweatshirt. But here we are. A couple deaths, guys. I want to talk about Richard Lewis, the comedian. He passes away. A lot of
Yeah.
people like Richard Lewis. I wasn't a huge fan, but you know what? I could appreciate.
Yeah, his humor's I liked him. He was funny.
Yeah. And then also the Tim Wakefield's wife. Of course,
Yeah.
remember Tim Wakefield passed away
Awful.
5 months ago with cancer, and his wife passed away yesterday with cancer.
That's rough. They have like
Yeah.
young kids too, don't they?
I don't know. They look like they would.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think they
imagine a
do.
little family picture. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see. So there you go.
Wait,
Now-
bring the show down.
Now that we got everybody in a good mood, let's do this.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, we got sports we're going to talk about, guys. I got some pretty interesting things actually that we're going to talk about today. But first, I do want to say that we are going to welcome a guest today. 2 weeks ago, we were invited on a radio show actually, and the show is called One Man's Opinion with Brian Pasquale, and it's on 99.3 WBVP. And a lot of people checked it out, and we appreciate everybody checking out his show. He's a great friend of ours, and we are going to have him on this morning to talk some sports, talk some shit, and maybe see if he could pass the tough combine test question today. I just want to let you know, being that the combine starts today, I'm not going to let loose on. I'm not going to let go of this. We're going to keep hitting the combine test hard, and to see if our crew is smarter than guys making the jump from college to the pros. So that's all coming up later. But everybody, I want to give a very warm welcome to our special guest, the gentleman. His name is Brian Pasquale, and of course, you recognize him from the show that we were on 2 weeks ago, One Man's Opinion with Brian Pasquale. He is in the green room. Go ahead and let him in, guys, and we'll talk to him. Come on in, Brian. There he is.
There we go.
Woohoo!
There he is. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing very well.
All right, looking good. You're usually a busy man, so I'm glad that we got you. It's a great opportunity to be able to sit down and talk to you at this capacity. Very excited to have you on. Thank you for having us on as well.
It's good to be on. I normally am at work right now listening to you guys, so this is kind of strange.
All right, we appreciate that as always, man. Great to have you here. It's always great to have you on, and it will be great to have you on in the future. So, guys, let's get started. The NFL Combine does start today, and it starts at 3:00 p.m. Guys, defensive linemen, linebackers on the NFL Network. 3:00 goes for about 5 hours, and then it will be on again and again and again and again until tomorrow, whenever the defensive backs and tight ends come on. Mike, what do you think about the Combine starting today?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. I can't wait. Meetings are over. All their testing's done. I'm ready. I'm ready to see people run. I'm, run in shorts and lift some weights.
That sounds
Yeah.
like your cup of tea, man.
It is. It is. A bunch of built athletic dudes running around in shorts and t-shirts, baby.
Brian, is there any position that you kind of got your eye on? I know some people aren't really into it. I know people that are really into it, but overall, you generally have an interest because you have an idea of what this football team needs here in Pittsburgh. Is there any position that you have a desire to kind of pay attention to and keep your eye on as the combine rolls out here over the next 4 days?
The big guys, offensive linemen, mostly tackles is what I'm going to be looking for, because they're going to have to get a tackle. I do have a movie suggestion.
Yeah,
if I may.
Yeah, please.
Rocky 3 was kind of like unrealistic in their fighting scene. So when they made Rocky 4, Sylvester Stallone said to make it more realistic to like actually punch each other.
Okay.
And Dolph Lundgren actually sent Rocky to the hospital because it was so realistic. So in the Derpy movie, I think you should make it more realistic.
So you really want him to be entered by the
I think he should.
Okay. All right. I'll put it in here. It's all up here. I'm hard at work on it, I got to tell you, and it's coming along just fine. And I like that suggestion, Derpy. What do you think? Brian from One Man's Opinion thinks that you should be entered.
What? No.
All right, keep up the hard work, Derpy. You're doing great, buddy. guys. So yes, we do have the combine starting today. Of course, Mike, this is one of your favorite times of year
It
after
is.
the season. We get to certain milestones. You get to the combine, we get to the free agency, which is here not too long. Then you get to the draft. You going to be paying close attention this weekend, man?
Excuse me. Yes, I am. Um, oh my God, I'm dying. But yeah, this like right here, you can find out like who the real athletes are and who you can see like what's gonna how well the drills are gonna translate into the pros. I don't care too much about 40-yard time. I want to see like your that 10-second split. How fast for like receivers and corners are right at that jump. Same thing with like the linemen. I don't care about their 40. You know, like Casey Hampton said, if I have to run 40 yards, we already lost the game. So
Right.
your linemen, I want to see the agility drills. I want to see how well they move in space. Because you know, like Brian said, this team needs offensive line help, not just at tackle, but at center. I want to take a look at the big three centers coming out in the draft, see how well they move, how well they play. Like tackles, I'm looking at like Amarius Mims. See, you know, maybe reunite him and Broderick Jones on the offensive line.
Okay, that's good answer. Derpy, you was texting me this morning about somebody. Who was you texting me about that you said that you liked and that you're going to be keeping an eye on?
Murphy from Texas.
Murphy from Tech. What is he? A defensive lineman?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does he? Where
Maybe
does
try
he?
to get another Keanu Benton.
Another Keanu Benton. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Guys, I have a list here. I'm going to go over real quick with you guys. This is your. This is from the top 100 prospects. Of course, I don't want to go through them all, so I'm going to just kind of go through some of these top picks, maybe right around the 25. Because yesterday on Brian's show, I did say that being that we're picking at 20, I want to kind of get an idea because you're hearing all these names that might come to the Steelers. You're hearing your Mims. You're hearing Cooper DeJean. You're hearing this. You're hearing that. So let's take a look at it and see what kind of idea, what's realistic on who may or may not be there at that point. At 20, there's usually 20 good names that are at the top of this list. So let's realistically take a look here. So they have in the top 100. Dorothy, are you breathing into the microphone again?
Maybe.
I think he
Maybe
is.
not.
He's giving me a headache. Stop that. All right. So number one, the number one player on the top 100 prospects is Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to be in the top 5, probably 3. Correct? Anybody have any disputes there?
No, definitely
No.
top 5.
Caleb Williams, number 2. Jaden Daniels from LSU, number 3. Malik Neighbors, guys, the wide receiver out of LSU.
No,
They get
he's
him at number 4.
no, yeah, he's going top 10.
Drake May is at number 5. Joe Alt, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame, at number 6. Brock Bowers, the tight end out of Georgia, number 7.
He's a good player.
Help me with this name, like the receiver out of Washington, Adunze,
Yeah, Roma Dunze.
Roma Dunze.
Yeah,
He's going to be a stud.
something like that.
And then number 9 is this dude from Penn State, the offensive tackle.
Ola Fashanu.
Well, Fashanu. And then number 10, rounding up the top 10, is a dude from Oregon State, another offensive tackle, Fuegwe, maybe.
Yeah,
Is that close enough? Ballpark?
Close enough. Yeah, I can't get his name right either.
So literally, I mean, there's nobody in that top 10 that we would go after anyway. So we're pretty safe so far, right? There's no
Yeah,
I mean, you'd love to have any of these guys, of course.
Oh God, if they can like swing away to get Alt or Fashanu, I would love to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. To move up in the top 10 from 20, it's going to take a lot of draft capital.
And you're hearing these names, and these are the 10 names that you're going to see at the very top of that list anyway. So again, considering that we are at 20 guys, let's continue on. As I said, I'm not going to do all 100. We'll get to about 25.
Yeah.
Get an idea if we're in the ballpark for anybody that we're looking for. Number 11 is an outside linebacker from Alabama named Dallas Turner. Number 12. What's that?
Good player. Dallas Turner. He's a beast.
Okay. Number 12, Latu, an outside linebacker from UCLA. 13 is a defensive end from Florida State named Jared Verse. We all know Nate Wiggins, the cornerback out of Clemson. He comes in at 14.
I would love to get him. Oh God, if he's in that range to where if he falls to 14, 15, make a move, get him.
You think they would? I mean, considering some people were believing that we could go after a cornerback, with that first round pick, do you think
Yeah.
that that's a possibility if he's sitting at 14?
At 14, or I have a couple of the corners might be coming up too. I think you
Okay.
might talk about.
Number 15 is the quarterback from Michigan, JJ McCarthy.
Oh, go way too high.
I agree. I think he's going to fall. He'll fall. He'll fall down the board as the draft goes on. I got a feeling about this. Number 16, Darius Robinson, the defensive end out of Missouri. Number 17, Quinion Mitchell, the cornerback out of Toledo. Mike, I think you like him, right?
He's another one. He really showed. He played really well down at the Senior Bowl. That practice, the combine's going to help his stock a lot.
And why is he at Toledo, Mike? I forget why.
It just, I don't know. I think he probably didn't get a lot of offers coming out of high school. I don't know why he went to Toledo, but kid can play.
They have him at 17, and a guy like Kool-Aid McKinstry is past 25, so he must be pretty good.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't mind getting Kool-Aid either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is somebody that you hear over and over about teams have interest in McKinstry. And this guy is placed, about 10 picks above him. Anybody so far that's catching your attention, Brian, that you're thinking to yourself, I'd like to have him on the team. This would be somebody that would benefit us greatly. Of course, all these names would, but anybody that you like so far, Brian?
No, not really, because I'm more interested. I don't think they're going to miss on the first round. If they go tackle, cornerback, whatever they do, they're probably not going to miss. I'm looking more for like the center position, like Mike was saying earlier. That we obviously we don't even have a center at all. And this kid from WVU is the number 1 ranked center, correct?
He's up there
right now.
I think they
Zach
got
Frazier.
Yeah,
JPJ is number 1. Number 2 is Zach Frazier, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
If they do get a cornerback or defensive lineman or maybe a tackle in the first round, I mean, second or third round, they have to go center.
Okay. Let me get to the next guy here. Amarius Mims, of course, the offensive tackle out of Georgia. A lot of speculation that we are going to go that particular route.
He's raw, though. He only has like 8 career starts.
Really?
His tape's really good. He shows great potential, but only 8 starts.
Number 19, Tyler Guyton, an offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Number 20, Terrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama.
That's the corner I really want.
Okay. I have him at number 20, and guess who picks at number 20?
We do. Like his physicality and the way he punches the ball out of the receiver's hands. That's one of the first things he does when you watch him engage and close. He's always trying to hit that ball out.
Okay.
Still in good position to make a tackle, but always trying to get that pass break. I like him a lot.
I like to have somebody with that quality back there. Minka has it. I like to have somebody with that quality at the cornerback position. Somebody that's going to make plays back there, has that mindset to punch the ball. And
did you mention Nate Wiggins by chance yet? The cornerback from Clemson.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's 6'2". I like the size. Him and Porter. The size is always big over there.
Yeah, that's where they're going. They're going like bigger corners now. You look at Trice, Rush that they picked up in free agency, and Porter. They're all bigger guys. That's like Arnold. He's only 6 foot, but the way he plays so much bigger than that.
Now let me ask you this. Of course, we need these primary positions. You need your tackles. You need your centers. You need your corners, and there is going to be free agency before then. So I mean, a lot of things still remain to be seen. But let me ask you this, guys. Do you think the fact that we do have Corey Trice sitting on the shelf, who got injured before the season last year, we didn't get to see him play a single down in regular season. This was a guy that they felt was a steal in the late rounds. Does having a healthy Corey Trice sitting on the shelf affect this at all? Say a McKinstry or any of these corners come down the pike. Does having Corey Trice affect the way we would make this first round pick? Let's just say one of these top corners are still sitting there at number 20. Brian?
No, because he went late because he's injury prone and he got hurt.
Yeah. And I agree right there. And you can never have too many good corners.
Yeah.
Look what Kansas City did in the Super Bowl. They have 2 top end corners. They were able to shut down a pretty good passing attack.
Okay. Fair enough. Next on the list, guys, is number 21. Jerzane Newton, the defensive tackle out of Illinois.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to taking him. I think he would be a disruptive force on that D line, and that D line needs a lot of help.
It's not
Not a sexy pick, but an important position.
He left a bad taste in my mouth. Wasn't Rashard Mendenhall out of Illinois?
Yeah.
I had something about Illinois picks ever since he was here.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
He-
fan.
Hey, come on now. I'm okay with taking guys from Pitt. You gotta.
Well, you're not an Illinois guy, guys. What's it matter?
Yeah, I know, but
Byron Murphy the second, number 22 on the list, the defensive tackle. Byron Murphy. I know I heard that name before, out of Texas.
again, not a sexy pick, but in a position of need.
Wide receiver Brian Thompson Jr. out of LSU.
No, we can't get receiver first round.
Nah. You know what? Yeah, number 24, guys. This is the guy that a lot of people were connecting and linking with the Steelers. Cooper DeJean, this cornerback out of Iowa.
He better be the best cornerback to come out of the draft in the past 10 years. We're taking a white corner in the first round.
This better be Jason Sehorn the second.
Exactly.
CBS, they have Cooper DeJean ranked like 35th. So I don't know,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He's all over on like different boards. I think he'd be a really good free safety.
I got him on ESPN at 24, so we could be safe to say he's somewhere between 24 and 35, and that's well in our range. So it's definitely somebody that's potential pick for us right now. And topping out the 25 is J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle out of Alabama.
No, I wouldn't be opposed to him either. Like any of these offensive tackles, they're all looking pretty solid.
Let's see. Number 26, and I'm just going to blow through these next 10, 15 guys, so we're not on this forever. Xavier Leggett from South Carolina, wide receiver. Troy Fatanu from Washington, an offensive guard. Rickestraw Jr., the cornerback out of Missouri. Edrin Cooper, the inside linebacker out of Texas A&M.
He would be a nice second round pick.
You think we're going to go after inside linebacker help, or do you think we're going to try to handle that in the free agency?
And they're looking at a lot of inside backers. They met with a bunch of them already. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of those guys falls or sitting there at that second pick. Oh, yeah, I can see it happening.
All right. And then let me just hop down through some notable guys here. Kool-Aid McKinstry comes in at 34.
Wow.
That is according to ESPN. So,
that's way low.
It's very low. Absolutely. Could definitely be somebody that the Steelers could and would be interested in, I think. Outside linebacker Chop Robinson out of Penn State comes in at 35. A couple other names here that I know that there's spoken interest of. Jackson Powers Johnson, the center out of Oregon, is number 37, guys.
I don't think he falls that far.
Where is Frazier at on your list, Bri? I don't
smoking
know.
Jim Frazier or
Mr. Frazier out of West Virginia.
41 here on CBS.
Okay, so that's probably why I still haven't got to him here.
Yeah, PFF has him at 34. So
somebody like this is a definite. So, but still at number 20, you're looking at your options, and there might be somebody that's way more valuable, and you think to yourself, okay, let's let that drop down. So let me take a look here. Bo Nix, the quarterback out of Oregon, he's down at the 43 position on my chart. Let me just go down a little further. And like I said, we're not gonna do this forever. Okay, I got Zach Frazier at 55. What is he on yours, Brian?
41.
41. So between 41 and 55, Zach Frazier should definitely be there. What's our second round pick, Mike?
52. 52.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
See, I'm seeing like some mocks of people have him going like high in the second round. And the next center after them is Van Pran out of Georgia, but he's not in that class of like Frazier and JPJ. Those two guys I think can start right away.
Okay. Well, they have no choice. Whoever's going to be center is going to be playing. They're going to be playing right away. They're going to be playing often.
I can see us maybe picking one of the free agent centers up and then not have to worry about hitting one of these two guys.
Okay.
We'll
see what's out there.
Yeah, bet more flexibility in the draft, where you don't have to hone in on center when there's only like 2 or 3 good ones.
Yeah, right. Well, Arthur Smith says there's a couple good centers in Tennessee. Every time he opens his mouth, he says Tennessee. It's driving me nuts. You would think
Is he saying it, or is that the media saying it?
I don't know. I thought it was Arthur Smith.
I haven't heard Arthur Smith say anything. I keep hearing people say anyone linked to Tennessee or Atlanta that becomes available. Oh, he's going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, see, I didn't see that. I see
Yeah.
Arthur Smith talking about these couple linemen down there. Apparently, he wants this to be the Titans.
Hey, their offense was, when he was there, was better than our offense the past 2 years. So
Yeah, we will see.
we'll see. We'll see.
Also, guys, Bill Hillgrove, the voice of the Pittsburgh Steelers, is just retired this morning after 30 years of announcing the Steelers. Came in alongside Myron Cope back in 1994. I met Mr. Hillgrove about 15 years ago up at the studios, and he was a really, really cool dude, very down to earth. As a matter of fact, if you didn't know that he was Bill Hillgrove, he'd walk right past you, and you would have no idea that you just missed him because he's just a regular guy.
It's going to be weird listening to the games on the radio now.
Yeah.
Because, like 34 years of nothing but Billy. It's like when Lang retired. What are you going to do? It's not the same.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys. Also on Brian's show yesterday, and Mike, you did bring up the report card, basically the grades that everything graded here in Pittsburgh, from the stadium to the facilities to the coach to the owner, all the way down to the way families are treated when they are at Acrisure Stadium, guys. Art Rooney, an F. How is this even possible, Mike, Brian, Derpy? Art Rooney was voted the second worst owner in the NFL.
Yeah, his dad was the one who made this, everyone wants to talk about, the chief, but it was Dan Rooney. Once he took over back in the 70s of scouting and developing, and then when he became the principal owner, he was the driving force of this team and this franchise. And his, Art II can't live up to that level.
Mike, an F?
You see it.
There's literally nobody worse.
There's one more worse.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah,
you could talk adult.
He doesn't spend any money he won't spend money to hire new assistant coaches. He's like, this is what I think an offensive coordinator is worth. That's all I'm going to pay. He's a cheap.
Maybe we should be going after the Tennessee Titans assistant coaches instead of their players.
Hey,
but that seems to be the difference.
He won't pay them any. So,
Brian, an F. It doesn't get any worse than this.
Well, an F minus on how they treat the families.
It's like George Steinbrenner, when he was alive, you give him an F. It's just, I don't get how he gets an F. I understand that, the things that Mike said, they do hold true. There's things that you do here that do hold true, but an F? I don't know.
They gave him an F minus for how they treat the families. And it's like all I could picture is like when back in the Stone Age, like they would take somebody to the town square and people would throw like cabbage at them.
Yes.
Is that like how they treat the families? They throw cabbage at them when they see like Pickett's wife. They just throw cabbage at her.
That must be what's going on. And I am going to take a page from that book. And if Derpy, if you ever answer a question like you did yesterday on the show, we're going to throw lettuce at you. Is what's going to happen. We're going to take you to the town square and pelt you with lettuce. Brussels sprouts.
He's Rooney's just lucky that Bob Nutting's in town. Otherwise, he would be looked at the worst owner in town.
I don't understand it. I don't. Again, an F, second to last, 31st, just kind of mind blowing. You would think that this would be a bigger topic in Pittsburgh, and people would talk about this more. That it is.
If this was a survey of Bob Nutting, yeah, it would be front page news. But it's the Steelers, and we're just going to hand wave it away.
Very interesting.
And that's just how it's. He's not a good owner.
Maybe we should get the Tennessee Titans owner to come next, Mike.
Hey,
next thing we could change the uniforms, and we could be blue and white.
What is your obsession with the Tennessee Titans and Arthur Smith?
The Pittsburgh Pirates, guys, these Buccos, they lose yesterday 5-3. Shang-Chi Chang, we've talked about him briefly, very briefly yesterday about being in the lineup. He hit his first home run of the spring training yesterday. But the big story about the Bucs, guys, today at 1:05 against the Baltimore Orioles, Paul Skeens makes his spring training debut. My not watching the Pirates is going to be delayed because I have to see Paul Skeens pitch today. I don't care whether he throws an inning.
Yep.
If he throws 8 pitches, I have to see this. This is at 105, guys. The Bucks against the Baltimore Orioles. Paul Skeens on the hill. I think this is one of the most highly anticipated Pirate moments that I could think of in at least the last 10 years for sure. Of course, when they were good for a couple seasons, I was into it. But guys, Paul Skeens, what do you think, Mike?
I'm excited. I want to see how he does, and this might be the only time in the next 5 years we get to see him pitch against,
All right.
in a Pirate uniform, because
And it's
how
not
the
because
Pirates
he's not
operate,
good enough. It's because of contract
how they operate.
situations.
Yeah, they're going to keep him down there. I hate being negative about the Pirates, but until they
You
change
hate
the
being
way
negative about the Pirates. I've never
well,
heard you not be
I know.
smile on your face, just at least briefly while talking about the badly
Yeah,
about
well,
the Pirates.
it's the way they develop guys. They keep them down there forever, for longer than they need to.
And
And
he'll come
I'm
up.
afraid it's going to happen. This kid looks like he's ready to be. He's ready to be in the pros.
He certainly has a mustache for it, but he'll probably get up, play good enough, just long enough for the Yankees to grow interest, and then they'll sweep him off his feet,
Yeah.
and then he'll be gone. It's such a shame the situation we do have in Pittsburgh, because you do see glimpses of hope every once in a while.
Yeah.
Remember Freddie Sanchez back in, was it 04? He wins the batting title. Next thing you know, he's gone. That team that makes it to the playoffs for first time after 30 years, them guys start to, they start getting rid of these guys. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with the way the Pirates handle things. But what are you going to do? It's the Pirates. It's the team here, and the only thing you can do is not show up. And people don't seem to understand that. But we will see. What do you think, Brian? Paul Skeens today. Excited?
I don't know if Livy Dunn's going to be at the game or not. It's always going to be more exciting to see her. She's going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates, Taylor Swift.
I can handle that. I would deal with that. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still in school or what. I don't know. She's down at LSU.
Okay. So there you go.
Oh yeah,
guys.
and I want to see him pitch.
You wanted to see him pitch?
Either that or become a state trooper. One of the two with that stash.
He does have that.
He looks like he should be hanging out with Super Troopers.
I was just going to say
Connecticut.
Super Troopers 3. Could team up with
him and Farva?
Farva, yeah. What's the guy that had the
Ramathorn.
Ramathorn. Remember Car Ramrod?
Ramrod.
Say it, Ramrod. So there you go, guys. Pittsburgh Pirates today. That game is at 105. And of course, these games don't matter, so that doesn't matter. But Paul Skeens will be on the hill. That's going to be a lot of fun. Penguins back in action tonight. They play the Kraken in Seattle. 10 o'clock start. Penguins are 27, 21, and 8 coming into this game, guys. Kraken 25, 22, and 11. Mike, a very good chance to go on a 4-game winning streak. Does it happen, or does the roller coaster continue? Maybe they lose this game against a team that ain't so good after beating a very good Vancouver Canucks. Mike, any direction on this?
I'm taking the Penguins. Crosby is going to will this team into the playoffs. He, ever since Gensel went down, Crosby's been on a tear. He's going to do everything he can, and I think they're going to sweep the West Coast trip.
All right, there you go, guys. Tonight, 10 o'clock.
I'm calling it.
Pittsburgh Penguins. Mike called it. We're sweeping the West Coast trip, going on a 4-game winning streak, inching our way back to the playoffs, guys. This is the halfway point, the halftime, if you will, of the show. We have a special guest on today. His name is Brian Pasquale. He's the host of One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale on 99.3 WBVP over here at Beaver County Radio every Wednesday at 5 o'clock p.m., 5 to 6. He does host a sports show. He talks about all kind of awesome things. Guys, check him out every week. Brian, I do have a little idea here. Today is the 29th, guys, and this is a leap year. What I want to do today, fellas, I'm going to ask all three of you. Derpy, are you live?
Derpy.
First and foremost, we have to make sure Derpy's alive. Derpy.
I think
He's
Derpy
doing
might be
other podcasts.
I think he is.
That's what he does. He runs our podcast in the background, and then I don't know what he does, but then he
has more important ones.
Yeah, he says this is his show. So I'm going to get it started. Derpy, if you're available, we'd like you to participate as well. And this is what I'm going to do, guys. Today is the 29th of February. You can only play this game one time every 4 years. So feel lucky we were involved, everyone. I'm going to ask you guys something, and I'm going to see how well you can do. Besides for Barry Foster, how many Steelers could you name that wore the number 29? The number 29, of course, today is
Wow.
the 29th of February. I have the list of every player in front of me.
Oh God, I don't even know one.
Me either.
And if you could name one, I guess you would be the winner of this activity.
Is Mike's
Guys,
kid there? He probably knows.
yeah.
No, the gremlin is not here. God.
Can you guys name anybody who wore number 29 besides Barry Foster for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
What number was Deshae Townsend? Was he 27 or 29?
He was
26.
Deshae was 26.
Uh-huh.
I see two semi recent people that you should recognize and should be able to.
Chidi Awoma?
No, Cheaty
No.
isn't. Or yeah. I'm sorry, Cheaty is on the list. Yes. So you got Cheaty.
Wow.
And
I'm done. I'm done.
Chitty's gonna win it for you.
Chidi
There's
Awoma,
two names
baby.
that you should probably be able to get. Other names. Let me
Brent
go through.
Alexander?
Let me give you some other names.
What was Washington?
Dwayne,
Wayne Washington. Was he
20.
He was 20.
I'm not even. I got one of the two numbers.
Here's some people that we don't that you probably wouldn't know. Brian Allen from 2017-2018 season.
Oh, wow.
Fred Berry from 1970. Lance Brown from 1999. Don Campbell from the late 40s. Let's get something recently here. Randy Fuller in the mid 90s. Remember the DB Randy Fuller guys?
No.
Cheaty, of course. Cameron Kelly from 2019.
Some heavy hitters right here.
Wendell
Yeah, I don't know how I
Smallwood.
didn't know all these guys.
Wendell Smallwood from 2020. And these two names I'm looking at that I really think that you are going to know once I tell you the answers. So that's why I'm going to give you a little bit longer. Derpy.
What position? What position?
Yeah, is it running back or defensive back?
Both DBs.
Levi Wallace?
Yes.
Ooh,
Levi Wallace.
nice. Look at you, you got two, Mike.
I just rolled the dice on that one.
And this one other one is one that I would get if I thought about it long enough. If I didn't have them in front of me, maybe it would be different. But as I'm looking at them, I say that I could name these three. One being Barry Foster. I'm sorry. Another one being Levi Wallace. I thought Cheaty was 28, so Mike got that one. I wouldn't have got that. But this player here,
I
guys,
can't think.
give up.
I give up.
Ryan Mundy.
Wow. WVU, baby.
Yes.
Ryan Mundy. Forgot about him. Pretty good special teamer.
So those three guys and then a bunch of other guys that, again, I read through them and we probably wouldn't recognize half of them. But that, guys, was the February 29th leap year, number 29 for the Steeler game. Ryan Mundy, Barry Foster, Chidi Iwoma, Levi Wallace. I thought somebody would definitely get Levi Wallace just because he's on the team. But hey,
I'm just used to his numbers a blur as the camera pans by as the receiver runs by him.
Right. He's always 5 yards behind the receiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Derpy, you there?
I am here.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Chidi Iwoma won a Super Bowl. Holy shit.
Cheaty was damn good for he was that guy's he was Bill Cowher's main special teams guy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I want to talk a little bit of hoops today, a little hardwood. First of all, let me go into the WPIAL basketball championship games at the Pete this weekend. It's coming down to this, Mike, Brian, Derpy. If you know anybody, if you went to any of these schools, if you're interested at all, the championships are this weekend. It starts at 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock today. It's a single way game. Number 1, Amani Christian versus number 2, the Neighborhood Academy. And then the second game today is 9 o'clock p.m. That's your 4A game, which is a big one for people around here in our area, specifically Lincoln Park, which is number 1, and number 2, Hampton. Lincoln Park, guys. Nellie Cummings.
Down the road from where I live.
Yes, you're very close to Mike. Nellie Cummings was just on Pitt last year on that team that made a nice little run. His brother Brandon is on this Lincoln Park team, along with Malik Thomas, who is getting looks from schools like Duke. So I expect personally the Lincoln Park Leopards to win this game. Let me get into the Friday's games. Friday at 5 o'clock, AAA, number 1 Deer Lakes versus number 11 Burrell. Is Brian and I was talking yesterday. Burrell, that's kind of an interesting one because they're number 11. You usually don't see that when you get to this point in high school basketball, but there you go. Burrell.
It could be somebody was injured all season and now they're back. Maybe it could be something that simple.
It very well could. The second game tomorrow, 9 o'clock p.m. is the 5A game. Is number 1 Moon versus number 2 Franklin Regional. I think that should be a really good basketball game. And then in the Saturday, the first game of the day is your double A championship game. It's at 1 o'clock. That's number 1 Aliquippa versus number 2 Greensburg. Central, what are they? Greenberg Catholic
Central Catholic.
Central Catholic.
Let's
and
go
then,
Quip.
Yes, I'd like to see Quip win this game. And of course, this game here, the 6A, Brian, we were talking briefly, is between the number 4 Baldwin and number 3 Upper St. Clair. This is the only game that does not have a number 1 seed in it. Every other game has number 1 seeds. This one has the 4 and the 3 seed, Baldwin and Upper St. Clair. So that's the last
Baldwin
game.
upset Mount Lebanon, who was the number 1 seed. And I just want to give a little shout out to my niece, Peyton. She is a cheerleader for Baldwin, and she will be down there cheerleading for them on Saturday.
That's awesome. Go Baldwin. And go everybody else that's in this game. Good luck, especially to our hometown teams, Lincoln Park, Aliquippa, even a little bit of Moon on the outside there. But as far as where we're at right here in Beaver County, good luck to those teams, and then good luck to them all. This is the big story that I wanted to talk about, guys. I've been waiting all day, actually.
Oh, God.
Well,
Oh, no.
Caitlin Clark. Now she has 1 game left. Let me paint the picture.
The game.
She played last night. They had beat Minnesota 108-60.
Ooh.
108-60. Caitlin
That's
Clark
unreal.
scored 33 points. Okay?
All right.
She scored 33 points. She broke the all-time women's record last night. No woman has ever scored more points than Caitlin Clark in college basketball. Impressively enough, the Iowa Hawkeyes are 25-4. It's not just a good player. They have a good thing going there. This is a good team. But on Sunday, the last game of the year for Caitlin, the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes, Derpy, make the trek to play the number 6 overall Iowa Hawkeyes in the last game of the season. And if that doesn't sound important enough, in this particular game, Caitlin Clark needs just 18 points, guys. 18 points to become the all-time NCAA scoring leader, female and male. If she scores 18 points against number 2 Ohio State in the last game of the season on Sunday, she becomes the all-time NCAA scorer. Think of every great basketball player you've ever known that's gone through the college ranks. Think of every great basketball player, man, female. It doesn't matter. If she scores 18 points this Sunday against Ohio State at home, she has become the best. No one has ever scored more than Caitlin Clark if she gets it done. Brian, anything about this? I'm just chomping.
I hope she scores it in the first half.
You know what? She's probably going to score in the first quarter. She did that to Michigan a couple weeks ago.
Well, who currently has the record and where's he from?
Oh, very interesting question.
Good question.
I like the lead in.
Yeah, I like it.
Right?
Derpy, write this in your notes, huh? Did you see what just happened?
Write this down.
All right. If she breaks the record, he said, I'm writing this down. She breaks the record. If she scores 18 points, she will then pass who is the current leader of the all-time scorer over everybody in college basketball, who is Pistol Pete Maravich, everybody. Yep. Pistol Pete, all-time great. You know him. He has 3,667 points all-time in his 3 seasons with LSU. He is the all-time NCAA leader. If Caitlin Clark scores 18 points, guys, on Sunday, she passes Pistol Pete and becomes the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA. And what's a little bit even more intriguing to that about this, guys, is Pistol Pete Maravich is not only great, he was not only one of the best of his time, he was not only the leading scorer in NCAA history, but he, guys, is right here from across the river. He was born in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, along with, hey, who do you think when you think of Aliquippa? You think your Mike Ditka's, your Ty Laws, Darrell Rivas. The list really goes on and on, even Tony Dorsett for that matter.
Yep.
In basketball on the hardwood, it doesn't change any bit because the leading scorer of all time in college hoops is, of course, yes, Aliquippa's own Pistol Pete Maravich. I don't know what they're putting in these baby bottles over there, but yes, another Aliquippa person. And it's not mentioned or talked about a lot, but now that Caitlin is about to break the record, it's certainly surfacing more. Mike, anything to say about this Aliquippa talent?
It's insane. Literally, you just listed all the Hall of Famers that came through there. Arguably one of the best basketball players of all time, definitely of his era. Some of the greatest football players of all time from Aliquippa, and then Caitlin Clark gonna come along and score 18 points and shit all over him. Now I don't like her. I was all in on Caitlin Clark.
Aw.
She'd come on and shit on
succeed,
Aliquippa.
but not past Pistol Pete would be great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope she does it, and I think it's a damn good story.
Mike's taking the Antonio Brown side.
Right.
Did you see that tweet today?
What was that?
Oh my God, he was attacking Barstool. It's like, oh, Barstool reporters at it, and it was like a bunch of crackers typing at typewriters.
Hey, I like it. I'm a cracker. I can relate.
I was dying.
But so here we go. You have Aliquippa, the number one Aliquippa in Double A. Guys, they're going at it against Greensburg on Saturday. On Sunday, you have Aliquippa back in the limelight because, of course, Pistol Pete's record is on the line. Caitlin Clark going after Sunday against the number 2 overall Ohio State in the country. Does that make it more difficult? Does that mean that she's going to not be able to score as much? I think that just adds the intrigue to this whole thing, guys. I can't wait. A whole bunch of stuff. You got the combine going on all weekend. You have high school basketball championships. You got Paul Skeens, Penguins back in action. Caitlin Clark. Let me ask you, Mike. I asked Brian this yesterday on his show. What is it? What is the hate all about for Caitlin Clark? Why is all the somebody gets to this point in their career, a lot of people join the bandwagon. They want to celebrate. They want to watch it, share the experience. What's with all the hate coming at Caitlin Clark all of a sudden?
I don't know. I don't even who was it? Angel Reese last year. Those two in the playoffs,
Right.
They were kind of getting at it, but yet now, even her, she's like, no, this is awesome what Caitlin Clark's doing. Yeah, they have a rivalry when they play each other, but she's like, hey, no, you have to recognize this greatness. And I don't know why people can't do that when her biggest rival is like, hey, this is awesome what she's doing. I don't know why, the casual fan can't just go, yeah, this is badass what she's doing. We haven't seen someone like this in a long time. So I don't get the hate. You know me, I'm a big hater of everything popular, but I'm like, this is great, man. This is why you watch sports. You watch someone dominate, and that's what she's doing. If you can't enjoy this, why the hell are you watching sports?
Brian, I like you had an interesting answer yesterday when we talked about this. Why don't you tell everybody what you think? Why all the hate is being brought upon? Especially from a certain female basketball player that you used the example. What was
Cheryl Swoops was getting all over Caitlin Clark about it, and she's on, according to Swoops, the Kenny Pickett extra 2, 3, 4 seasons you get to play in college, and she's not doing it in the same time that the others before her had done it.
I might only have one response to that: hate the player. Or hate the game. Don't hate the player, right? Don't hate the player. Hate the game. I mean, you've heard this in the past. There's nothing that Caitlin Clark's doing wrong. She done it by the rules. She's playing by the rules. She didn't go outside of the rules. She's playing basketball. She's scoring a lot of points.
She's only been there 4 years. That's the thing. She's only 4-year starter. She's only played 4 seasons. So I don't get the hate.
Maybe Cheryl Swoops. Maybe Cheryl Swoops is just a hater, but
she's doing derby math.
She's doing derpy math.
Because everyone thinks she has the COVID year. Technically, she does. She can play 1 more year, but she hasn't used it yet. So she's doing this all in a 4-year period. And she went to Iowa, which was not even known for women's basketball, and she made them into a powerhouse. She could have went to UConn and won 4 championships by now. She chose to go to a small school, breaking all these records there. This should be
So Mike disagrees with the WNBA, former WNBA star Cheryl Swoops. My opinion is, one more time, don't hate the player, hate the game. If that
she should play next year too.
I hope she does.
That's what I'm saying.
Here, fucking take it.
Because
she's gonna make more money.
make your money from the NIL. Also, get the record, make it untouchable. And you know what? Tell people like Cheryl Swoops to F off. And at the end of the day, again, she did nothing wrong. Hate the game. You know,
I would love to see her come back one more year, but transfer to like UConn, make that big money and win a championship. So everyone would shut the hell up that, she doesn't have her rank. So what she's doing doesn't matter.
I wasn't on my board, Mike. I didn't know that all these messages were up here, but I do appreciate you keeping up with them. Thank you. But so many things, so many good things were said. I wish I would have known.
like Pete said, living in Iowa that long is really the impressive stat.
I think the funny thing that P said was The funny thing P said was Derpy is going hard for employee of the month. Yeah, let's see. Derpy, man, yeah, crap. If it ever goes this long, you hear me like not say anything, kind of remind me, because if I'm not on the right page, I don't even realize what's going on.
Well, you never know what's going on.
Christian Megan was on. Yeah, shit. But yes, Mike, why don't you go ahead and make up for it and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyinzers.com. We got the merch store over there. God dang it. My voice is over there somewhere. The blog is over there. Speaking of my voice is the blog, So check out the 2 Dum Yinzers. We got the merch store. We got social links over there. Got the blog over there. Check it out. The2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool things over there. Go check it out. All right, guys. Today we're going to hop back into some combine trivia. And this is only to test to see if we are as smart as NFL football players or players who are going to be NFL football players. Of course, everybody knows that the combine, which starts today, these guys are asked questions. They want to see that they're not dummies. And by doing this, they ask them these certain questions. And yesterday we had fun with it a little bit. Today we're going to do it again. This is going to be for all three of the guys from the panel today. Mike, Derpy, and our guest, Brian Pasquale. Of course, the host from One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale every Wednesday at WBVP.
This is my favorite part of the show, but I don't like it because I'm on it now.
Well, yeah, now you're on the hot seat,
right?
Yep.
P, you're welcome to play as well. Anybody else on the board? Anybody at home? Here we go. This is the combine question of the day. This is not a question about the combine. This is a question that is literally asked to the football players that are getting ready to make the big jump from college to the NFL. Here we go. Counting from 1 to 100, how many sixes will you encounter? Counting from 1 to 100, how many sixes will you encounter? Guys, go ahead and think that over for a moment. If you want choices, just like the NFL football players,
26.
I will give you choices.
Yeah, exactly.
He said 26. I will give you those choices, but take a moment to think this over, guys. We are live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. every day. If you missed this show or you just want to be able to listen to the show, we take the new show that we make every day, upload it over on Spotify at 8 p.m. in podcast form. So if you just want to check it out in podcast form where you're just able to listen to it, 8 o'clock, Spotify, check it out.
While everybody's thinking of the answer, can I say something real quick, Ryan?
Yeah, man.
So the Penguins play with the Kraken tonight?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I absolutely cannot stand that nickname.
With the Kraken.
Yeah, it's an enormous, what does it say here? Sea monster of enormous size. And it's mythical, so it's not real. And it says it's found between Norway and Iceland. That's nowhere near Seattle. So I don't even understand the whole thing.
I wonder how many arms it has and how many times it could finger Derpy in a movie if we needed it.
Now we're talking the sequel.
First thing that popped into my head was how can we play? Yeah, the sequel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't annoy me as much as when people say the Krakens. They say the Penguins play the Krakens tonight. Like not only is it mythical, you're saying it wrong anyway. So anyway, guys, the question of the day is this: counting from 1 to 100. How many sixes will you encounter? I'm going to give you guys choices just to be fair. Derpy, you ready for this?
Oh, I want to answer
I'm
without
going with 26 again.
He's going with 26 again.
You're closer than you were last time, Derpy.
Here are your choices: 10, 11, 18, 19, and 20. There's 5 choices, fellas. From 1 to 100, how many sixes will you encounter? 10, 11, 18, 19, 20. P on the board says 19. Mike, I'm going to come to you next. Which one do you think it is?
I'm going to go with 20.
20. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Mike's locked into place. Next, I'm going to go to Derpy. Derpy, how many sixes do you encounter when counting from 1 to 100? Do you get 10, 11, 18, 19, or 20?
I'm going 19.
19. Is that your final answer?
Yep.
All right. So you and P both got 19. Mike, you picked 20. These guys are all locked in. Now let's go to our special guest today, Brian Pasquale, the host.
Well, Derpy redeemed himself, Ryan.
Derpy redeemed himself.
Brian? I think he did.
All right. So, Brian, what do you think? From 1 to 100, how many sixes will you encounter? 10,
there will be
11.
10 sixes in the second portion, including the 0-6, and then there's 9 additional in the 60s column, so 19.
All right, Brian takes 19. So Derpy, P, and Brian, the host of One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale every Wednesday on WBVP Radio, chooses 19 as well. Mike, you chose 20. P did change his answer. He says 66 point make it 20. All right, so there you go. You got 2 20s, 2 19s. Of course, the answer, guys, to this question of counting from 1 to 100, how many sixes will you encounter? 10, 11, 18, 19, 20. We got 2 19s, 2 20s. Of course, the answer, guys, is 20. It is 20 sixes. But hey, everybody was good job. Everybody, great job. Derpy, you were pretty close. And
went with 26.
And I think that Brian was just entertaining. It was just entertaining us because I pretty smart guy. I do know that for a fact. And he was a pretty damn good basketball player back in his day, Brian, correct? What school was this? South Park?
Yeah, I played for South Park.
Was Kenny and Eric and Stan and Kyle on your team?
I played the 5th.
Okay.
him and Cartman were best friends.
Yeah, that's right. But no, I do. We appreciate you coming on, Brian. Always great talking to you, my man. My man,
he does have me.
No, man, you're literally welcome anytime. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
In 4 years, I'd like to join again.
There we go. Every leap year, every leap day, come back.
Leap year, we'll have Brian on. Guys, I do want to say thank you for everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. As always, we wouldn't do it without you. We appreciate everybody on the board. I wish that I was aware that things were going on there. Unfortunately, I did not. But you know what? Everything still went good today. P on the board says Kenny don't know no ball.
Uh-oh.
Mike, anything before we get ready?
I got nothing. I just want to thank Brian again for coming on. Thank everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Derpy, what do you got, man? I know you always got something interesting to say.
Got something, Derp?
For me?
I heard you. I talked.
I can hear you now.
Glitched out.
Okay. Can everybody hear me
Caitlin
now?
Clark is taking that L Sunday.
Caitlin Clark's taking the L. Even if she takes the L, which she may, does she break the record, Derpy? Does she get her 18 points? You think she gets that done?
She gets her 18.
Anybody here think that doesn't happen? Anybody think that the season ends and she is not the all-time leading scorer?
Oh, she's going to get it.
I agree. I hope so, guys. Again, the combine starts today, 3 p.m. We have defensive linemen and linebackers. If you are paying attention to those positions, they will be starting today from 3 to about 8 or 9 o'clock on the NFL Network. Tomorrow starts the DBs and tight ends, and then it continues through the weekend. Also, the Pittsburgh Penguins are in action tonight. They're over in Seattle playing the Kraken. And it is bizarre, Brian. Now that you mentioned that it is a made-up animal, and it's in another part of the world. The made up animal is actually in another part of the world. Why Seattle goes with that? It's kind of crazy. I never thought of it that way. But the Penguins are at Seattle tonight, trying to go for 4 in a row, 10 o'clock p.m. this afternoon. The Pirates at it with Paul Skeens. You want to get a look at the number 1 overall pick last year, though. Everybody's talking about this guy, Paul Skeens. Pittsburgh Pirates play the Baltimore Orioles today at 105. Check out Paul Skeens on the Hill. That's going to be a lot of fun. The high school basketball playoffs start today. They do go the whole way through the weekends down at the Pitt at Pitt. Get down there, check them out. We want to wish good luck to all those teams. And finally, the Caitlin Clark story. This is going to stretch out till Sunday, guys. So we will have a couple more days to talk about this. But she is going to try to break Pistol Pete Maravich's record. That's right, Aliquippa's own Pistol Pete Maravich, guys. So I do want to say a lot of great stuff today. We had a lot of good stuff to talk about. We appreciate the input from Brian once again from One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale every Wednesday from 5 o'clock p.m. till 6 o'clock p.m. over at 99.3 WBVP, Beaver County Radio. Do check him out. A lot of great stuff over there. And guys, anything else? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I got nothing.
Derpy?
Let's go with an oldie and a goldie. Always appreciate the little things in life. It could be worse. You could be a Browns fan.
And that is 100% true. I can't dispute that at all, Derpy. Brian, how about you, man? Anything before we take off?
No, I appreciate you guys having me and enjoy the extra day this year.
All right, we are enjoying the extra day. Brian, we do thank you so much for coming on. It was a great time, and we'll be sure to see you soon. Everybody, for Mike at the Steeler Central mobile studio, for Derpy out in La La Land, for Brian down at South Park, from the One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.